On June 16, 2021, I spoke with the members of Project Difuzion, founder and performative artist Zinnure Türe, actress and sociology graduate Yağmur Kahraman, and actress artist Ayda Akkaya. Based in Istanbul, Turkey, Project Difüzyon is a production platform open to all disciplines. The aim of Project Difuzion is to create projects with various disciplines and share their research in the field of contemporary art with the audience.
Ne zamandır burada oturuyorum bilmiyorum.
Thank you so much for joining me today. If you wouldn't mind doing a go around of introducing, that would be lovely.
Yes, this is Zinnure. I did my master's on acting, and actually it's been like 20 years. I was already into theater practice, working with some companies, usually focus on, for sure, theater, but sometimes for camera as well. So I am working as an independent artist. I don't want to say that I do theater or something like that, but yeah, mostly I do theater. So I'm an actress and director, and sometimes I write as well, but I do not call myself as an author or something. So it's been a long time. I am into field, and my focus mostly like contemporary theater. Yeah, that's all actually.
Hi everyone, I'm Yağmur. I just graduated from University of Sociology department in pandemic situation. So the project is very it's mean a lot to me. I interested in theater like 4 or 5 years, not in professional way, but I try to interdisciplinary things put in my life, like theater, sociology, photography, like this. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ayda. Zinnure, istersen sen beni tercüme et, ben çok heyecanlandım. İstersen
Okay.
Oh, I think someone's frozen. Yikes.
Yes, Zinnure.
Oh no.
Oh.
Our internet.
Yağmur sen gir araya.
Okay. She asked me to translating her.
That's totally cool. Go for it. But you're frozen right now. Oh, you're back. Okay, perfect. Resume.
Okay. Yeah, she's asking to me if I could translate what she will say, because
Sure.
she's so excited now.
I understand. I wish I could be better help. So thank you for for doing that.
Okay. Yeah. Söyleyebilirsin Ayda.
Yani söylesen hani tiyatro falan filan. İşte
Okay, so I will tell her. I will introduce her. Okay. She just finished her studies about acting. Last year she has graduated actually, and we have met when we were working for Yellow Journey project, and this is our third project with her. But basically she's an actress and yeah, living in Istanbul then.
Beautiful. Okay, this is so wonderful and so wonderfully, a great eclectic mix and diverse, both in, experiences, education, and practice. It's very cool, and I'm really grateful to have you guys on the show with me today and also participating in Hexennacht. So I understand that Project Difuzion is like a full-out production group. It is a not just a collective, and it involves actual performers and writers, and this has been definitely a project that you have established. Zinnure, pardon me if am I pronouncing your name correctly? I want to make sure. Zinnure?
Yeah, in English, yeah, Project Difuzion, Proje Difüzyon, but I mean Project Difuzion, diffusion, it's also okay, I guess.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Yeah, this is really cool. So if you want to give us a little bit of a background, if I'm actually hitting the mark correctly, that it is a production group based in theater, or if there's other elements, because I'm getting an essence of interdisciplinary, that there's a lot of different perspectives coming in, and that usually is a very exciting prospect and leads to very diverse creations. Is that a big part of the project, or is it more about theater, more about embodied performance?
Yeah, okay, I can talk about the history of Proje Difüzyon. Actually, I'm an actress, and after I finished my studies, I worked with several companies as an actress also. Then I realized that there is some stories that I want to tell, which some directors doesn't want to get into somehow. So then it turns into that, okay, why I will not do my own project? So there is some styles or some techniques that I want to work, or some stories that I want to tell. So I told myself, okay, let's do something. Then I decided to name it. Actually, that's that just comes from there. So actually, the project came, then the name came. So I mean, I didn't want to do my works like Zinnure Türe and blah blah. So I mean, I just wanted to create a kind of virtual space or abstract space for doing something. So yeah, the center of the company was me, but I mean, I wanted to call people to do something. So I mean, that is the aim for the company actually. If you want to do something, you could come and ask, and let's do something together. Anyone could tell something like that. So since then, the first project was a kind of really making a chaos.
No.
With sorry,
You froze. Right when you were getting
You went and come.
right when you were talking about where it is now, when you're saying, you know, now today Project Difuzion has, and then you froze. So if that helps for you to get back on your train of thought. I'm sorry.
okay. The beginning of the things were a one project I made with just women. It called as Tevatür, the rumor, actually.
Cool.
So it was really based on feminine utopias. I made a call to some women artists I knew from all around the world, from Kazakhstan to Canada to from UK to Greece or something like that. So 16 women sent their works to us. I mean, there was some manifestations in it, some videos, some texts, some ideas or something like that. Then we collected all those things, and actresses decided to do something on all those materials, let's say, and they have created their own feminine utopias. So we made a theater piece on that. That was the beginning of whole idea. But I mean, I need to say, whole things we do in Turkey is really based on political stations. So our core, our impulse is always what we feel about the political station in Turkey, let's say. So the center is just there, and then if we want to make something, we just make it. The second project after that, it was about a kind of memory way, let's say, that, because there is urban transformation is too hard in Turkey, especially some areas are really struggling with that issue, and it's easy to lose something in a second. You could say that in a few years anything could change in some areas. So we decided to make some collections of memories or some stories, let's say. So it was an audio walk. And then the other one, we made a site-specific performance in a vapor station.
Cool. No, not again. When you come back, you were
It,
Valper
it
Station was the last thing you said.
was an old vapor ferry station. Okay.
You got cut off
Ferry,
right when you were saying Valperta Station. So right when you said it, you're and you're just saying it. So if you can go back, I'm sorry for this. This is terrible, unfortunately.
yeah.
Ah! No,
No.
freezing. Ah! Okay, I will make one recommendation. If we can just, we know where you left off. If you want to sign out and then sign back in again, Zinnure, probably you will actually.
Yeah, it's
If you just hop out and then hop
yeah,
back.
I could change my internet connection.
Oh, okay, cool. That helps too.
Yeah, I will use my phones.
That is the one thing that, you know, it's great with Zoom because we can actually have a conversation like this, like at a distance, and yet at the same time, it is really contingent on our internet connection being good on everybody's part, mine and anyone attending, and it's hard because you can't really control that as much as you can. Like it sounds like you can in some capacity. In my situation, I just have to sort of like, sorry, it's not working. And it's like, that's not so great. This is a really incredible project, by the way.
Try to change.
Yeah, you seem more smooth right now on my end at the very least.
I can see you, I can hear you, but to change my internet connection now.
Okay.
Then, yep.
She's gone. And
I have a feeling that this is going to play in well to our discussion of Flanöz from it being, you know, all about the experience of COVID anyway.
Yeah.
This is definitely part of the experience.
Oh gosh, yeah. Hopefully that will work.
This is looking good. Now the thing where the point, because it's easy for me to just cut everything in the middle and then just start up again. You were right saying Valbus Station. Pardon my misunderstanding. So you just said Valbus Station and you were about to actually talk about that site specific performance. And I was like,
okay.
I'm all ears. And then
so then I will go now from there. Yeah. Okay. Our third project was a site-specific performance in a ferry station, a really old one nearby Bosphorus actually, and we made a remaking of King Lear by Shakespeare. So that was for the Istanbul Theatre Festival, and we made a collaboration with an independent visual art company. So it was a collective working. That was one of our aim actually, doing some projects like that actually. Then pandemic arrived to us. So 3 dots.
3 dots.
Yeah. Anxiety and you know what happened actually. So we were all connected, and after a while, I mean, no, in the beginning of everything, we applied to so many fundings, and we made so many meetings and had some ideas, and okay, what we can do, but where we can apply for that, blah blah. So we had so many ideas and so many different kind of projects prepared.
Yeah.
But it did not work anyway. Then summer came, and I mean, I guess we were in depression on that time, so we did not go into for the projects.
Not feeling it.
Yeah, exactly. Then somehow, I don't know what happened, but we said that okay, let's do something. Why we are not doing? I mean, the energy pumped up somehow. That was, I guess, on January or something, or December on last year. When was that?
I guess it was like this is for just when COVID began to happen. It or am I missing? Yeah, I think I'm still shocked that it's actually been a full year, and it only in Canada at least it only started getting into the news in December 2018, and then it was like legitimately in the news in January 2019. So it's weird to think that, but yeah. So is that approximately the time you were like January, December, and at that time, and then this started to happen? Oh boy.
Yeah.
Coinciding with ideas that can't come to fruition because of a pandemic. And
No, actually, I'm talking about the pandemic has arrived to us. Then we started to talk about that, and we applied for fundings. And after a year, when we were into pandemic already, after a year, we had we had an idea that okay, let's do something, because till that month, in the beginning of pandemic, we were so energetic, and we were like, okay, let's do digital things and blah blah, and but then we go into depression or something like that. We said that, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
The theater
In
has
Turkey.
died already.
Actually, do you guys want to talk about what at that time? So I guess when we're in the throes of the pandemic in January 2020, I guess, and December 2019, what was it like in Turkey? What was it like for the lockdown sort of situation? Because at least in BC, where I'm located, and in Victoria, we never had any formal lockdowns like in Spain. So there was never anything where like, okay, you don't leave, you stay put. No, it was like some people would still run the streets. What was your sort of situation that you guys were in, where you were? Was it like Spain, or was it more? Oh, was it like Spain?
Do you want to talk about it, guys?
I can say something. I had just graduated from university in pandemic situations, so everything was so uncertainty and depressive for me, especially because of also communication with my friends and people. Everybody locked down in their home, and our daily meetings are over. So Project Difuzion is also important to me about being connected with each other, and also share our common feelings and experiences and anxieties. It's not hopeful process for me, but at the end of, I'm very glad to being part of it. That's
Fantastic. Ida, do you want to share anything? Maybe not. Oh,
Ayda, bir şey söylemek ister misin?
Oh, you're
Sesin
muted.
kapalı. Sen söylemek istemiyorsun. Tamam. Okay, she doesn't wanna. I guess she wanna listen.
Okay,
more,
that's
like, and if she wanna say something, I mean, I could translate.
No pressure. Didn't mean to put the what's the term, to put the spotlight on you when you weren't expecting it. Or wanting it. Okay, so I can see how, even though everyone would have to be separated and sort of, in the pandemic experience, Project Difuzion still kept everyone connected remotely in a sense. And I think, I don't know, just so far from the different artistic groups of women that I've communicated with, and different people, even in, my own area and in different parts of Canada, that was definitely something that really brought people together, was even though they would have to meet remotely or make ideas happen through email or through letters, that is really what helped them get through. So it is no surprise to me, to be honest, that the collective or the group that you have formed on the basis of mutual appreciation and admiration of art and creativity really end up becoming a place of solace and a creative vent for everyone during this tension. I think that's really how do I say, it's a facet of art. It's a facet of creativity that really does help us, get through the hard times in life. I wanted to just before, because I think we're just teetering on the edge of talking about Flanöz, and I want to, but I got very excited, Zinnure, when you were saying how a big part of what caused Project Difuzion to come to fruition was the fact that you wanted to tell stories or explore stories or perspectives that were not popular, or narratives that people didn't want to hear. And you mentioned firstly the female, or the women's utopia project. I'm getting the impression that obviously there's a lot of diverse opinions, and of course the political critique element of it, I think, is an integral and just part and parcel with any sort of creative project, especially one that's informed by location. I was wondering, is there an emphasis on for sort of the female narrative, and an emphasis on the sort of gendered experience that women have? Is that a big part of Project Difuzion within regards to those particular narratives that aren't shared, or is it more open?
Okay, I need to say that I do not make it consciously. I mean, I, uh, I do not make some. I mean, we do not make, or I do not come with an idea like, okay, let's do something with women, and let's do something with women perspective or something like that. I mean, it's just there. So I mean, I so I'm a woman. I mean, we all women, and we have so many experiences about life, so many gazes to life, and we are struggling with patriarchy whole day on the streets, and on our working field, or some places. I mean, then when we go on the stage, uh, or I mean, when we talk about something, it's just there. I mean, we cannot stop that.
Yeah.
So I mean, we do not make it with with a plan, with something. So I mean, when we are really living in it, and we hate it, we hate the station that we are living in. So I mean, I could say that, I mean, our projects really based on improvisations, or our opinions, our texts, or something like that. So when we have that freedom, of course, our stories come to there in feminine way. So I mean, we do not really force to make it. But it doesn't mean that there won't be a man, or a story of man. Why not? Maybe one day. But I mean, there's lots of them. So I mean, they could. I mean, it's enough, I guess. So I mean, I'm not thinking that I will really chase for that.
I really appreciate that response. I think that is the most that is the best way of putting it. When you live it, it's going to come out in your work. There's no way around it. There's no plan. There's no like, I'm not going to purposefully go and do this. It's just I live it, so it's there. Beautiful, beautiful. I appreciate that, and I respect it. And I not to go on about it, but I think it is an interesting element how, yes, that is a narrative that unless you live it, unless you experience it, or you have discomfort in it, it's not going to be valued by other people that are perhaps inflicting it. It has to be your experience to actually get the expression out. So beautiful. Absolutely beautiful encapsulation of that. Okay, I would love to talk about Flanöz, simply because we're all gathered here, and you've provided such a beautiful background to Project Difuzion, and I would be remiss, especially because Flanöz is going to be playing on June 26th to 27th at Hexennacht, and I just firstly thank you so much for sharing this incredible piece with us. I'm so excited to be including it in the festival this year. It's so exciting. We all are on the board. So I know the background. I have read it. I don't expect you all to give it all away because you must attend the live stream to see and experience it. But do you want to give a little bit of a background for perhaps the inspiration and just what's going on here and your creative process in it? I'll stop talking.
After pandemic has arrived to us, it's March for us actually. We have started to talk about a project. Okay, what we can do, and actually, maybe I could tell my background because that was already on my mind for years because of the political situation of Turkey. I don't know how much people knows about it, but Turkey as a republic, but before Turkish Republic, there was Ottoman Empire. So in the last times of Ottoman Empire is a kind of process to go to republic. So the modernization of Turkey, I need to say that, and there is a big fragile moment in between. I'm telling that like in the beginning of 20th century. So I thought that period is so important because it's still going on for Turkey somehow. Modernization of Turkey, westernization of Turkey is a really big. She knows better than me actually. Yağmur could tell because she studied about sociology, of course. So I focused on that period to understand what's going on now because this political situation of Turkey really based on, I guess, modernization and westernization of Turkey. Then I started to make some research about that period. Then photographs came to our mind, and then we did actually our work, our job, like creating some stories on an image because there was some really strong images for us, and basically we just looked on that and tried to understand via Zoom actually that situation. That was so interesting process for us because if we were on the stage, that project were not possible somehow. That gave us another perspective to looking to our job actually. And in that period of time, because of Islamic culture, women life were so how can I describe that? So weak, I could say that. They had to cover their heads, and there was really big strict for going on the streets. So the public space were full with men actually in that period of time. And we still could see that actually in some places for Turkey. It's a question actually about public space, about women through 100 center before. It doesn't make sense. So basically we wanted to search about how a woman act on the street on that period of time, in that period of time, and if a woman were on the street 100 years ago on the street, what they will say, what they will think. So basically, we came from that point, and that period was totally different than now, but actually that was the same. There's lots of common points with that period, and also lots of different things. I mean, physically and mentally.
That is incredible. Thank you so much for not only giving that background. Not every, not everybody is unfortunately as informed as they could be when tuning into my show. So I think they would appreciate the background that you gave. That is the best description of any political process. It is the imperialization, the republic more changing, or the changing of the Ottoman Empire into a republic. And that is so valuable for everyone to understand and remember the history of Turkey. I am blown away. I did not realize that a big part of what informed Flanöz is how women were living in Turkey approximately 100 years ago and how it relates to the current day. What, in your opinion, or I guess because opinion's the wrong word, what are the similarities that you guys identified between current day and that time, if that's okay, unless that, if as long as it doesn't give too much away. I'm just like, oh, this is
Yağmur, you wanna talk about it?
Okay, I can try. Actually, there's something change, of course. There's a long time process, but also still we can feel uncanny, especially at night in public. It's really big issue, I think. I'm not feel comfortable when I back home at night from somewhere, and I feel not free enough for acts like show my feelings or make noise or speak or sing loudly in public, and it's really pressure actually still in public. So it's an issue and we still deal with it nowadays. I don't know. In short, I can say that.
Actually, I could also add something to Yağmur. Thanks to pandemic, or because of pandemic, I don't know, but I don't know what happened exactly and why it just happened, but I guess some people has to make a research on that. Women gathered more, and they started to ask for their rights more. Actually, I mean, people even say that the biggest opposition in Turkey is queer world and also feminists. Now, women, I mean, feminist movement and queer movement is one of the most strong thing in Turkey, because now we are really struggling with the authority, and the biggest opposition is just coming from there. I mean, I guess because of Zoom or some other things. I mean, people could gather more somehow. It's more easy. Connection is more easy, and they have really special meetings. And after Me Too, for example, Me Too just arrived to Turkey. I could say that there is lots of revelation. Is it right? Revelations, especially in art fields also. So those things, I mean, and also on 8th of March, although we had pandemic, people, I mean, women gathered also, they were on the street, and yeah, they are struggling a lot, and they were already, but after pandemic, I mean, we more felt how we stuck into that system somehow, and I could hear their voice more and more, actually. I mean, and people feel more kind of free to tell everything.
I want to just add, I totally get what you're saying. And I think it is a fascinating phenomenon how, you know, perhaps even internationally, there has been so many voices that have been, you know, roused. The voices existed before the pandemic. These issues have been ongoing. I'm immediately thinking of Black Lives Matter. That's always been a thing, let's be honest. But the pandemic brought it to a peak, you know. I'm thinking about even Julia was talking yesterday about the Chilean protests in Chile and also in Argentina, and the fight for you know, abortion rights for women, right? You know, simple things like this, and it's been successful though. That's the neat part, is that even though during this major crisis of a pandemic that's affected everybody in the world, there still has been the ability to be political and to still successfully make change. So it's been very scary, exciting, and really kind of cool at the same time. It I love knowing the background. I love knowing the influence and the political inspiration behind this piece that you guys have made. I am I'm so excited. It's incredible. So I don't dig myself into a hole. I don't want to kill this vibe that we're on right now, but I'm just so stoked on this political element. Gosh. Oh, is there any other political related things you want to mention about things? Yeah, go for it, please.
I mean, please.
I just at the about the situation of Istanbul, Istanbul. Okay, my English is
Agreement.
over.
Agreement.
Agreement.
also.
Yeah, agreement. Cancellation of Istanbul Agreement, which is support women's rights. So we are deal with it nowadays, and I think Zinnure said that also. The idea of personalist politic being more visible in these days with maybe Zoom meetings and talk about our home experiences pre- um, frequently. So deal with the, you know, the political situation in Turkey about Istanbul Agreement and our personal experiences is, you know, it's all about the Flanöz maybe. I just, okay.
Okay, I will tell one big thing and one small thing I want to add also. Big thing, I guess, hopefully it will not be dangerous for me, but I mean, in the history, in late Ottoman time, there was a women movement as well. I mean, the photographs that we have, that we used. And history tells us that there was one hero and he saved the country and he gave to women their rights because there wasn't any rights for women. They cannot be they cannot give their voice for elections, and he gave to women those rights even before Westernian women. They I mean, so I mean that is the basic and simple sentence that we learned on our studies from the primary school. But actually, there was lots of women. They struggled for to take those rights. Lots of women, and they. I mean, it did not come up to people on their minds like, okay, today let's give their rights to women. It did not happen like that. Lots of women, they really struggled. They made so many translations. They made so many interviews with some other women from around the world, and really big process. They some of them go into jail, and lots, like, really big history. And that's why that period is also important for us. Yeah, okay, there wasn't, that was not, those women were not visible on the streets maybe, but they were really doing something and making something in that period of time. And yeah, some details about history of that period, because I mean, we really do, we try to ignore that period of time, because I mean, after Republic, after Turkey, Turkey become a republic, we are usually do not seeing what happened before that. We do not count it. We doesn't wanna talk about all women, because I mean, they were not modern. We usually say that. But anyways, that's another discussion. So that's why that period was important, I guess. And also one thing I will talk on behalf of one of our group members. She was pregnant on that period, and she has a baby now. And she really wanted to join for this meeting, but her daughter was crying a lot. So what she told us, that was so important for her also, because usually people really does not count her as a person since she were pregnant. And she's an actress, and I mean, it is important to keep going and keep doing her work as well, however she could do anyways. So via Zoom also we made it. I mean, and you will see that on the video, she was pregnant, and that was really important for us also. And today, if her daughter Nora was not crying a lot, she would be there, because I mean, everything is part of our life, and we should keep doing it without the prejudice of other people somehow, or their with their rules somehow.
That is so great to hear that, and that is something that I think unfortunately is a universal thing for women, is this expectation that you have a certain role to fulfill, and that is to be a crucible for someone's child. And once you complete that, whatever this other business you were doing is inconsequential, and you should put that away and now preoccupy yourself with the ultimate purpose, which is to look after this child. There's nothing wrong with being a mother. It's a hard job. Let's be honest. The amount of emotional labor, the effort, the work involved, and to go unpaid for that is remarkable. But nonetheless, you are an existing human and being with an identity, with interests, with education, with all kinds of things. And that is just another part of your ability. You can make people. No wonder we've had so many problems through the ages. We can do all these things, and yet we can also produce another human. We have to reduce the rights of that particular human. We cannot let that get out of hand. No wonder there's been so much oppression. This is, I appreciate, and I wish she could have been here too. But of course, you know, there's just a balancing act that takes place, and it's so lovely to know that she gave birth during and you know, came through safely throughout a pandemic. Like that's like superwoman style. So very, very exciting. I am so happy to have spoken with you guys today. This is amazing, and I imagine that I could talk much longer, but I my show is only so long. But one of the things I do want to ask that perhaps you've already thought about, and maybe we've even sort of hinted at it, but in the long term, seeing as the pandemic is decreasing, at least it seems to be improving. We don't know. They're very optimistic in BC, in Canada, but we'll see. with that going on, do you see yourself still including this sort of remote element into Project Difuzion and being able to still do that? Or are you seeing it being as like, we're going to move towards being back in person 100%? Or is there sort of things you've gained from the pandemic that you're going to incorporate in, even though, you know, you wouldn't have done that if you could have met in person? Long question.
Can you summarize it?
Yeah, sorry, that was a long one. I have a problem with doing that. I talk around it because of the pandemic and what it did. It provided some opportunities to be innovative with how you work through Project Difuzion and doing Flanöz. Are there going to be techniques that you had to use from the pandemic that you will continue to incorporate because they actually were useful? Or are you looking towards the future of Project Difuzion and just going back to the original way of doing things in person 100%?
What a nice question. I mean, I did not think about it, but I mean, generally, I could say if there's a story, we usually try to find a way to tell it. So which way will be useful for us? We are also questioning that thing. So in that case, for example, that was a video. And we could go for the streets. I mean, we could make a combination for those two things. So, I mean, it depends on the projects, and it depends on the what story asked from us, actually. Okay. How we wanna reach the audience, and who will be the audience, actually. That we usually asking in the beginning of everything, we are asking for that. So next project, we do not see that because of pandemic. I mean, I need to say that I feel really in between of everything, really. This situation is so uncertain. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe we will prepare something for stage, or maybe another video work. Who knows, actually. We don't have any plan yet, but when story came to us, when something really tells us that, okay, you have to talk about that, and you need to share that things with audience, with people. As soon as we came with something like that, I guess we could use anything. It could be digital, it could be an app, it could be an exhibition, painting, podcast. I don't know. I mean, I do not tell, or combination of all of them. Anything could be happen.
Okay, so yes, definitely receptive to different sorts of mediums and being open to perhaps innovative ways of working. Very interdisciplinary and exciting. I realized I didn't ask at the beginning, and I would love to edit this into the beginning, but I'd love to hear if you guys would feel comfortable sharing your individual creative processes. I was just thinking, based on you each being so interdisciplinary, being very informed by academic as well as art, that maybe you guys have a different sort of way that you think of when you say, okay, when I'm engaging creatively, my creative process involves such and such. If you want to talk about that, I would love to include that.
Yağmur, you wanna?
I didn't get the question clear, I think. My creative process in general, or?
Yeah, exactly. In general, it's something that I made the mistake of not including when at the beginning when introducing. I just think it would be neat to hear, you know, your own perception. I'm not asking you to give away your secrets. It's more of like, how do you approach creative a situation, or when you're engaging in a project of some sort?
Okay, actually, especially in this process for 1 year, I was at home full time like everybody, and I have a lot of time. So creativity is like Zinnure said, that tell a story, which is you think about it nowadays. So I always try to record some images, maybe some sentences which I encounter, which I meet, see, whatever. So telling something is and share and talk about with other people and don't feel alone yourself is the one of the most beautiful thing about creativity, I think.
Ayda bir şey söylemek ister misin? Çevirebilirim. Bu yaratıcı sürecin nasıl işliyor senin diye soruyor.
Ha,
I'm
okay.
sorry, I can translate it or you can talk.
Thank you. Yeah, if you live in Turkey, will be creative. My country, big story. It's fantastic. I'm so sorry. That's all.
There is many things to tell, we can say.
Yeah, for me also, I mean, that's, yeah, for sure. This place really inspires us a lot, especially Istanbul. It's full with stories and full with emotions. I mean, really everything, but it changes for me also from time to time. Sometimes I focus on something apart from history. Sometimes I focus on about plants, or sometimes I focus on something about science fiction, or I don't know. It depends on the period. It depends on my mood also. I mean, so creative process is really goes like that. I usually curious of one topic or something like that, and I start to read about it or watching some videos and blah blah blah, everything about that thing. Then I go for walk. I mean, walking is really helping to me, or I go for traveling, especially train or bus helps me a lot about thinking for processing. And nature also helps me a lot for processing. But first of all, I need to read and make a research about that topic, then go into a silence or something. I mean, I don't like making things in hush. I cannot make things in hush. So when I go into silence, I mean, usually things comes to my mind.
Thank you all for sharing those. Those are really cool, and I think they're reflective of each, everybody's own way of approaching things, and even just dealing with high stress situations like being in the middle of a pandemic or dealing with any of these sorts of things. So thank you so much for sharing those. And I can only imagine how living in Istanbul, living in Turkey, is just an inspiring experience on a daily basis. I have only been to a few places in the world, and definitely Istanbul is on my bucket list. So I admire, and I feel what you're saying, Ayda, significantly. I am so pleased to have chatted with you guys today. This has been fantastic. I really have enjoyed my time with you. I know this isn't a question that's always the greatest, because sometimes it's a little bit of a, something that throws people off, but I feel sometimes I do not give everything the addressing that it needs. So if there's anything that is on your mind that you would like to bring up, please feel free to bring it up. If it's about Project Difuzion that I did not cover, or if it's anything about Flanöz that I did not hit on, I would love for you to include any of your additional thoughts on it.
I will tell. I just need to thanks to you actually for the invitation, because that just came to us, the invitation for Hexennacht festival. The time that we were really started to talk about, okay, what we can do, we want to do something, what we will do, and blah blah. When we were thinking about it, the invitation has just arrived to us, and we said that, oh my gosh, I mean, anything cannot be really fixed with our time actually. So I mean, it really pushed us, and it really helped to us to make that project. Otherwise, I guess we will not do that project. So I mean, it inspired us also so much. So thank you so much for the organization and for that beautiful gathering.
That is,
Yes, thank you so much.
oh my gosh, that's amazing. I also just want to say, I think it's really cool because Flanöz, I think, really captures the whole idea of the hidden self for women, for people in general. So it's very spectacular. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for it to be on the live stream and for June 26th and 27th. Oh my gosh, it's been absolutely a pleasure talking with the three of you today. And I would love to, I have mentioned, you know, with some folks, I would love to reconnect with you post-pandemic in the future, and talk about future projects. It would be lovely. It would be spectacular. My gosh.
Yes.
You guys are wonderful. 100%.